Do 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 do. Yep, I just saw Mockingjay, or as I like to call it, Battle Royale Part 5. Yeah, everybody comments on how Hunger Games has a lot of elements from Battle Royale, and that, the writer of Hunger Games probably ripped off Battle Royale, and a lot of people see it as a bad thing. But personally, I see it as we get 6 Battle Royale films, and that's not bad. I love the Hunger Games / Battle Royale universe, and honestly, that's how I see it now. I just see Hunger Games as an expansion on that universe, and that's not a bad thing. You can see Battle Royale as the starting of the games, and Hunger Games as what it turned into over time, and that makes perfect sense to me. That they fit together very well. So I like that context. Anyways, I did read all the Hunger Games books. I liked the last one the best. I talked to some other people, and they apparently liked the last one the least, which I thought was weird. I thought was the best. I definitely preferred the Battle Royale book, but I definitely liked the Hunger Game movies a lot more, just because they seem to be better done. So, how does Mockingjay stack up to everything else so far in Battle Royale or Hunger Games or whatever? Is it a good flick? Okay, so I think people who like the book will get a big kick out of Mockingjay because, well, it's not like a scene for scene translation. What it is more of expansion. Because in Mockingjay, it's all first person, and Katniss is stuck in a bunker in section 13. So most of the book is just her and sitting in a bunker. And that's most of the book. In the film, though, because you see stuff happening from multiple perspectives, you get to see a lot of the aspects of the war. You get to see different parts of the country coming against the capital, and fights happening, and different people rebelling, and you get to see all that instead of just slightly hearing about it like in the book. So it's a massive expansion on the war elements, and I like that. There was all these new little scenes which did happen in the book. They were just barely mentioned, but here you saw them. They were fully fleshed out. You actually got a taste of it, and that's like every little bit of slight battle that was hinted at the book is fully shown here, and I thought that was a lot of nice little touches. Also, often when they take one book and they cut it into multiple parts, like they're doing here, like this is Mockingjay Part 1, and there's going to be a Mockingjay Part 2, you get that fear that they're going to over-elongate dumb parts or drag it out, like what's happening with the new Hobbit films, but that didn't happen here. That didn't happen. Because there was all those little added war scenes, this film felt just right, and it did have its own kind of plot and its own kind of flow, so it could potentially stand on its own just fine. There was a beginning, middle, and ending, and they picked just the right part of the story to make that work. So I do think it could stand on its own. So it doesn't feel like it's forced into 2 parts like I thought it might. So that was good. All the added war scenes was good. Jennifer Lawrence was once again, she obviously was born to play Katniss. So it was a good flick. I am still not sure how they're going to do all the war scenes in the final installment and still keep the PG-13. The way the book ended up in the end, it seemed very harsh and very brutal in some spots. So I think, that they're obviously going to keep the PG-13 rating. But I'm curious to see how they'll pull off. So I am curious now to see how it will end. And I gotta say, I did have mixed feelings about the ending of the final book. Like, it gets really dark and gets really bleak, but then it suddenly ends on a slightly happy note. Well, I guess I'm spoiling it a bit for people. But anyways, that note, a slightly happy note, I felt was out of place in the book because it had gone so bleak. I thought it should end on a downer ending, just keep that little bleak, and I thought a happy ending like it went with was a bit dishonest. That was one of my only complaints about the book. So I'm curious to see what the film will do, and if the film will get as bleak as the book did. You know, like, you can't, it might not be able to get away with the stuff the book did. So I am curious about that. Another good thing about the film is it really showed off the theme of the Hunger Games, which is media manipulation, like ads manipulating, PR manipulating. Like a real scene that shows this is these two fighter jets bomb this hospital and they kill a whole lot of people. And you know, Katniss shoots down the two bomber jets, so the good guys won, but not really, because a hospital still got blown up and countless people died. But the very next scene, everybody's cheering because they got it on film, and it showed the government killing people, the Capitol killing people, which made them look bad, and thus the heroes look good. So despite hundreds of people dying, it still makes them look good, so they're happy about it. And no one's really upset about all those people just dying. See, there's that huge detachment from reality because of the media. Oh, the media makes us look like heroes, and they're all ignoring all the horrible things that just happened because they look like heroes. So that theme is like really kind of smashed in your face a bit. It's kind of forceful, but we kind of need a theme like that in this day and age, because the media is really manipulative, and it's actually a good thing that we have an entire movie series pointing out you shouldn't always trust TV, it lies to you sometimes. So that's good. It's a good theme, it's well presented, great acting from everyone involved, some great battle scenes, and I think it's a good lead into the final film. So if you like the Hunger Games and Battle Royale up until this point, there is no reason not to see this. It's a good flick. It's a good flick. I can't think of anything really wrong with it, and I'm on pins and needles for the next one. So I would rate it a 9 out of 10, and I would say see it. See it in the theater. It's one of those theater movies you should see in the theater. Go right now. Good flick. Good flick.